Welcome to another episode of Pursuing Wisdom. My name is Robert Davis, and today we're going to explore the question, is everything after Revelation 3 in the future? There are basically four traditional views used when interpreting the book of Revelation. They are the futurist, the preterist, the historicist, and the idealist. The idealist view, in this approach, it treats everything, the images and the events in Revelation, as symbolic representations of the ongoing spiritual struggle between good and evil throughout history, rather than a specific historical or future event. The preterist view. This perspective holds that the prophecies in Revelation were largely or entirely fulfilled in historical events of the 1st century AD, particularly the destruction of Jerusalem and its temple in 70 AD by the Romans. The historicist view interprets Revelation as a symbolic outline of the entire course of church history from the 1st century until the end of the age. Specific figures and events in the book are matched to historic occurrences like the fall of the Roman Empire or the Protestant Reformation. The futurist view believes that the majority of the events described in Revelation, typically chapters 4 through 22, are prophecies that will be fulfilled in the future, immediately preceding the second coming of Christ. By far, the futurist view is the most popular view or interpretation today, especially in the U.S. According to this view, John, the writer of Revelation, represents the entire church in Revelation chapter 4. In verse 1, when the voice says, "Come up here," this is supposed to indicate the rapture. However, most prophecy scholars are reluctant to say that Revelation 4:1 is a direct teaching of the rapture because it does not specifically say so or give us any additional details about this event. Despite the lack of any biblical support or evidence, many prominent writers and believers still embrace this theory today. The rapture will be a milestone in history. It marks the end of the church age. Therefore, the correct placement is critical to our understanding of the book of Revelation. Most scholars and theologians state Revelation 1:19 is the key to understanding the structure and content of the book. This means the book of Revelation should show us visions of the past, present, and the future. This is the outline of the book, and it is essential that we use it if we hope to gain a full understanding of the book of Revelation. The wording in Revelation chapter 4, verse 1 seems to indicate that John will see the future. If Revelation chapter 4 starts the future, then chapters 1 through 3 must show us the past and the present. Whilst chapters 2 and 3, the 7 letters to the churches, are definitely referencing the present, chapter 1 does not show us anything about the past. Revelation chapter 1 is simply the introduction to the book. Before we go any further, let's understand our terms. The past is not yesterday, and the present doesn't just mean present time. We consider the 7 letters to the churches to reference the present. Therefore, the past means the Old Testament era. The present represents the entire church age, and the future is anything after the rapture. Now that we understand what the key outlines for us, let's look a little closer at the breakdown of the book. It's important to note that John uses the term "in the Spirit" on 4 different occasions. This denotes the start of a key division or segment within Revelation. The divisions are in sequential order and are vital to our understanding of the book. Therefore, we must understand Revelation is not just one long prophecy, but is 4 consecutive prophecies. Revelation chapter 1, I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. Revelation chapter 4, and immediately I was in the Spirit. Revelation chapter 17. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. And lastly, Revelation 21. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain. The first vision is a judgment of the church. The second is a judgment of the world. Next, we see the judgment of Babylon, the two beasts, and Satan. And the last vision is after all the judgments are finished, showing the future new heaven and earth. Now that we have the outline of Revelation, is it correct? Why is the judgment of the church first? According to 1 Peter chapter 4, the church must be judged first before the world. As we can see, all of the visions in Revelation are 2 or 3 chapters, except for the judgment of the world. This vision takes up 13 chapters. This is clearly the main vision of Revelation. The main vision is where we need to use the key of the past, present, and future. In other words, we're looking at 3 different dispensations. Note, 7 is the number of dispensational perfection or completion, and there are 3 series of 7s in the judgment of the world. How do we know this is correct? Well, let's work it backwards. The 7 bowls are the wrath of God. We know from the scriptures that the church is raptured before the wrath of God can be poured out upon the earth. Next, we have the 7 trumpets. They are the present age. Trumpets serve as a warning to something, and it's useless to warn someone about the past. This only leaves us with 7 seals being the past. So when they're unsealed, we're receiving revelation or understanding about the Old Testament. This is what Jesus did during his first coming, and that's why we see the Lamb of God in chapter 6 opening the seals in Revelation. Everything matches up perfectly to the key. Now we can answer the question we had in the beginning with certainty. Is everything after Revelation 3 in the future? The answer is indisputably no. If you're interested in knowing the real truth behind Revelation, then pick up your copy of The Final Message, Understanding the Book of Revelation. You'll be glad you did. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, be blessed.